everybody, welcome back. Today's episode is on the sauce Pomodoro. So a famous sauce from Italy. It's almost on every conceivable menu there is when you go sightseeing in Europe. We're gonna make it here for you today. So sometimes you get some plum tomatoes on sale or from a friend's garden and you don't get to them fast enough and you're sick of salsa. One good way of getting rid of them is making pomodoro. So we're gonna get rid of the skin in these. I've already gone ahead and trimmed some of the soft pieces because these tomatoes were going fast. So what I'm doing is making a little X on all of these tomatoes, and what we're going to do is drop them into boiling water and remove the skin. So this is the classical way of making pomodoro. It is removing the skin. It's a little bit of a pain in the butt, but it's worth it when we're doing this for the first time. So I'm going to go ahead and I've etched all these, and we're ready to go. Our boiling water is ready here, and you just have to be careful when you're dropping these in carefully to not splash too much. So here we are, getting all of our tomatoes in. This is for our blanch. So you're really only going to be doing this for about 3 to 5 minutes, depending upon how cold your tomatoes are. And we'll be removing them pretty quickly once we start seeing them. You can actually just kind of fluff them around a little bit. What we want to see is kind of the skin wilting off the side of the tomato. And you can see that after a few minutes. Sometimes you have to kind of just help them along. And here we are. We have our tomatoes that we've taken out of our water. And you can see here that we're just peeling this peel right off them. And we'll be getting them ready. So this gives us a good opportunity to show us mise en place, and you can see here after every time that we did a preparation in the kitchen, I always have the receptacle ready to put things in, and that type of planning ahead in the French kitchen is called mise en place, which means mess in place. So whenever you are cooking, it's always a good idea to dedicate a little bit of your creativity to keeping your area organized. So once we're done peeling all these, we're going to get them ready to make our pomodoro. We'll be right back. This is the Buccatini that we're using today, and it's a pasta that has a hole in it. You can see it right here. It's pretty cool. Not all stores have it, so you want to call ahead of time. I've seen it in Target, and so we've got our pan going. We're ready to start our pomodoro. We're going to start out with olive oil. Go ahead and add your, we have about a half. We're going to go ahead and add our tomatoes into there. Don't be shy. Put everything in there. Probably got the temperature up a little bit too high, but pretty much we've got our pomodoro started in there. It looks pretty good. Get that temperature down a little bit, and then we're going to salt it. Get our initial salt in there. One of the most important ingredients of pomodoro is red pepper flakes, and here we have just some cheap red pepper flakes. I'm going to go ahead and add them right in. I like it a little bit on the spicier side. And then let's go ahead and add our salt in. This is our salt mix, and we add that in just to kind of draw it out of the tomatoes. You don't want to add too much because the tomatoes will reduce down. So let's go ahead and reduce that for a little while. We're going to go ahead and start our bucatini. That's our pasta we're serving with our pomodoro sauce. We'll be right back. Pasta is rolling boil. Still going a little bit. I've decided to go ahead and cook off the entire 1 pound box just to see how much it makes, but that's too much for our sauce. You can see our sauce is reducing a little bit. This is just the plain tomatoes. I did a little small medium onion that was very, very minced. In this particular case, I use shallots. I like to use shallots. If you like to use onion, that's okay too, but you do need an onion element of some kind. And then, of course, our garlic. The recipe only calls for 2 heads of garlic. I like a lot of garlic, so 4 or 5 heads, and I chopped it up into a little mini blender. So I've added a little bit of my salt blend that I've created here, and what that's doing is kind of drawing out the liquid, and I'm not going to finish seasoning it until the end. And so once that's done. So once this is done and once the pasta is cooked off, I'm going to go ahead and finish it with olive oil and my basil and Italian parsley mix with a little bit of butter. Just finish it off with butter, and that is pomodoro topped off with our Reggiano Parmigiano on sale. I do like the grated. This is the kind that's sort of powdered. I like this better than the shaved because the shaved, even though it looks attractive, it feels funny in the back of my throat. So if you like shaved, knock yourself out. Otherwise, I prefer the powdered kind. And we'll be right back. And we're just tossing this together, really. I decided to add all of our pasta together so you can see that the sauce is not like a jarred sauce. So this is kind of like a fresh, chunky, sort of masculine meal. And so here's where you kind of check out if it needs extra salt, and which it does. There's no surprise there. Let's go ahead and add our salt mix. So we're just kind of nutting it up right here, and we're going to get that ready, and then we're going to add our chopped basil in there. This is all of our basil and our Italian parsley that we chopped all together into a uniform consistency, and we're going to add our little butter there. So this is just kind of finishing. This is kind of a chef's trick. You always add like a spoon or 2 of butter in there, and no one really knows what your ingredients are, but we already have soft butter here, so it's pretty easy. And I'm going to go ahead and finish it with a little olive oil as well. So we have about 2 ounces of olive oil. We've added our little butter, And we're going to just coordinate that all together and see what it looks like. We'll be right back. All right. So you kind of just test out your flavors there. Needs a little bit more salt. And we are right on the money. I love that little red pepper kick it has. If you're making this for kids, you want to maybe hold back a little bit on the red pepper, but if they like spice, you know, knock yourself out. So this looks just beautiful. It's incorporated really well. The Italian parsley is in there. The butter kind of mixed with the olive oil. And so really what we're looking at is just a sensational pomodoro. Let's go ahead and plate it up. We'll be right back. All right. So we've got our pasta, which we've cooked on the stove a little bit after we mixed all of our ingredients together, and we've got this really nice Buccatini Pomodoro ready to plate up using our turkey plate. This is an entire box of Buccatini, just so you can kind of see the amount that it yields, and this is just a beautiful presentation. I've got some of that nice Pomodoro that I have reserved to kind of sprinkle it on top, and you've got a beautiful meal right there, the nice summertime fresh meal. We've got our wonderful Parmesan Reggiano that we bought on sale. We're going to go ahead and garnish that up for a fabulous weekend meal. Look at that. Look how nice that looks. Parmesan on top. This is going to be Buccatini Pomodoro. Bon appetit!